The remains of the ancestral spirit manifest with antler-like horns that sprout vibrant plant life, illustrating the profound interconnectedness within nature's design. While this magnificent imagery may challenge one's imagination, envisioning plants growing from horns or antlers reveals a deeper connection to ancestry and the spiritual realm. We touched on the significance of hair in our Marika Sun tree video, but there is much more to say about the relationship between antlers, horns, hair, leaves, and even plant roots. I believe some people often confuse antlers with horns. I didn't even know the difference until a few months ago when I began researching for this video. The unique structure of the antler-like horns on the ancestral spirit compared to the horns on torrent made me question if both animals had horns. So, what's the difference? Before we dive into that question, let's address some important housekeeping. Our long-form videos have garnered between 2 to 4K views each. Yet, we currently have only 269 subscribers at the time of recording this video. It would be immensely helpful if we could convert those views into subscriptions. So, please support our channel by hitting the subscribe button. And while you're at it, don't forget to like the video, comment, and engage with our content. Your support means a lot. Antlers are found on species in the family Cervidae, mostly deer species. Interestingly, only male deer, except for caribou, grow antlers. Antlers develop from pedicels, which are bony structures on the sides of the frontal bones that support the growth and hardening of the antlers. Horns, on the other hand, are present in both male and female bovidae species, which include sheep, goats, antelopes, cows, etc. Horns consist of a bony core covered by keratin and are unbranched. They vary in shape and size across species and do not shed seasonally. Horns grow continuously throughout an animal's life without shedding and regrowth cycles. Remember, the bony core of horns is covered by keratin, the same material that makes up hair. While hair can be shed, horns cannot. Snake skin also comprises keratin, specifically the top layer of the snake's epidermis, which it sheds, contains keratin. Interestingly, most, if not all, the aspects of the crucible in the game, such as feathers and horns, contain keratin. A big shout out to Ken Dotify for predicting this video in their comments on my Marika Sun tree video. I wondered if they had access to my computer files because they accurately predicted this video's content. I know we have discussed a lot of terminology which might have left your head spinning. So, here is the essential part of what we have covered so far. The ancestral spirit has horns, not antlers, at least according to the game. Horns found on animals like antelopes, cows, goats, sheep, and the HORNSENT in the land of shadow cannot be shed. Additionally, horns contain keratin, the same substance found in hair and shed snake skin. We shall discuss snake skins in a future video. Now, let's go back to Elden Ring. What does it mean for the ancestral spirit's horns to be burdened with plants? I believe this imagery foreshadows the events between Marika and the HORNSENT in the land of shadow. In my Marika Sandtree video, I showed how the grandmother in the shaman village had her hair and head connected to the tree behind her. I also noted how the decapitated deity in the Boni village lacked any connection to the tree, possibly due to her decapitation. There are other characters in the game whose hair has intriguing connections to trees and even butterflies. For example, Radagon's statues throughout the lands between show his long braid attached to a knotted root pattern. Similarly, Marika's statues, excluding those in the land of shadow, have her braid attached to a circular pattern. Inside the Helic tree, where we fight Melania, there is a large tree with a human shape believed to be Miquella. A close look at this tree reveals a root system attached to its head, with roots that have a golden color. Even Melania's hair is intricately woven into her butterfly wings during her second phase in battle. Let's shift back to horns. Consider Moog's horn piercing his eye. I believe the game developers included this detail to signify something important. Moog's horn piercing his eye connected him to the divine or spiritual realm. Perhaps this connection allowed him to secure an audience with the Formless Mother and the Land of Shadow. With all this background information, it's time to piece everything together. The depiction of the antler-like horns on the ancestral spirit, burdened with plants, symbolizes how the strength or vitality of a horned culture serves as the foundation for a tree culture to ascend to divinity. In many cultures and faiths, horns symbolize strength, authority, transformation, rebirth, and divine connection. This is fitting since another name for the ancestral spirit is the regal ancestral spirit. Regal translates to monarch, suggesting that the HORNSENT could be the actual rightful rulers of the land of shadow. However, Marika, a descendant of the tree-worshipping people, usurped their authority by using their own gates of divinity to ascend to godhood and rule over them. The depiction of the Ancestral Spirit's antler-like horns, burdened with plants, now comes full circle. If you are still unsure, consider Miquella's actions. According to the HORNSENT NPC, Miquella promised to restore their clan as the rightful rulers.
Uphold his covenant, Miquella shall, and in godhood redeem our ruleful clan. Then Marika and
Miquella then used the gate of divinity to ascend to godhood. Before becoming a god, he created a consort using Moog's remains, which included horns. Once divine, Miquella mounted onto his horned consort, emphasizing that the HORNSENT were meant to be the lords through whom the divine would rule. I highlighted similarities between the divine beast dancing lion and promised consort Radan in my Marika Sun tree video. For clarity, promised consort Radan is literally a divine beast dancing lion. I mean, just compare his red cape, the lion mask, and his body adorned with horns to that of the divine beast dancing lion. Now, let's discuss the symbolic meaning of hair. Hair acts as a spiritual antenna, connecting individuals to different realms, such as the spiritual realm. Marika's statues in the DLC show a circular pattern behind her, while her statue in the base game displays an infinite Ouroboros. As mentioned earlier, Radagon's statues depicts his braid attached to knotted patterns of squares or diamond shapes. This combination of circles and squares brings to mind the influence of Marcus Vitruvius Polio on Leonardo da Vinci. Vitruvius, a Roman architect, believed in the power of ratios and symmetry. He proposed that a human body could be perfectly inscribed within both a circle and a square. He further argued that if a person lay flat on their back with arms and legs extended, their fingertips and toes would touch the edge of a circle. Since the height of the human body equals the span of its outstretched arms, the human form can be likened to a perfect square. This concept is known as squaring the circle. Vitruvius did not leave illustrations, leading many talented minds to attempt visualizing his descriptions. Leonardo da Vinci proposed a solution that left a lasting mark. He positioned the square slightly differently from the circle, illustrating a man in a spread eagle stance, with hands and feet touching the circle's edge and the navel at its center as per Vitruvius. Superimposed on this position, another shows the man's legs together, feet resting on the square's bottom, and arms extending outward to touch the square's sides. According to Leonardo's studies, the area just above the man's genitalia align with the square's center. This solution became known as the Vitruvian Man. The Vitruvian Man embodies humanism, geometry, anatomy, and art. Historically, the circle represents the divine, while the square symbolizes the earthly realm. Radagon's braid, connecting to square patterns, translates to his connection to the earthly realm, while Marika's braid connects her to circles, symbolizing the divine or spiritual realm. It's not surprising that Marika used golden threads of hair to connect to something divine beyond the gate of divinity. Additionally, Marika gave a braid of her hair to the shaman grandmother in the shaman village, symbolizing her spirit's perpetual connection to her home and ancestors. Notice that Marika's braid appears inside what might be a great room, emphasizing the connection between her hair and divinity. After becoming a god, Michele's hair elongates, symbolizing a deep or heightened connection to the spiritual realm. Similarly, Serosh's mane takes on a form like Michele's during the battle with Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. Have you ever noticed that your body hair stands on end when you sense something unnatural or divine? I believe it's because your hair acts as a spiritual antenna, connecting you to the spiritual realm and making it sensitive to the supernatural or spiritual presence. The connection between our head and hair will be a crucial topic in the next video I will be releasing. So, please share your thoughts and questions in the comment section. Until then, stay safe.